I spoke out about the corruption in my town, and what happened to me is what happens all across this nation. When well-intended people try to fight the corrupt system, that system fights back. Always the same playbook: ignore the facts, silence opposing views, and go after the person's credibility. So not only did I go through everything happening with my FOIA request, I even went through a previous lawsuit I did with my town, and I outlined how elected and appointed officials have been censured. They've been paying themselves campaign funds against the law. They've been found guilty of embezzlement, and they've even censored speech, which is against the First Amendment. Out of the 3 hours total that I outlined all of this, I said 2 sentences that I shouldn't have. And I tried to correct the situation. I actually made it worse. This is what happened so everyone can form their own opinion. I'm not telling you to pick my side. I'm not telling you to take any side. I want you to have the facts and you can decide for yourself. On Friday, I received a text message with screenshots of a post that is clearly about me. We'll put it on the screen so you can pause and read it. My knee-jerk reaction to seeing that was to immediately remove the clip in question. Of an almost 2-hour show, I removed about a minute and a half. I also issued this apology. Over the weekend, I sent the clip to a lot of my veteran friends who are not afraid to disagree with me when I'm wrong. And they told me I did nothing wrong, that what I did wrong was actually remove the clip because now everyone is only seeing one side of the story. They have no reference point. There are probably hundreds of people upset with me right now, and they don't even know what I said. For full transparency, I'm going to show you the clip in the group. And now you are breaking the First Amendment, which is also against your oath of office. You swore to protect the Constitution and you're violating it. And I will say too, April is a gold star mom. She lost, I don't know if it was her son or daughter, but she lost her child in the active service. And I am deeply hurt by that. And I am so sorry that she had to go through that pain, and I'm sure it still carries with her. I would think, to honor her child that fought to defend our country, that she would take our Constitution seriously and want to defend it too. And instead, she took her opportunity to break the Constitution. So just know I do have a lot of sympathy for her. And when I report on the news at the federal level, I advocate for peace because our veterans need to stop going in other people's war and losing their lives. For what? Have any recent wars made us better as a country, made any other country better? No. So I do everything I can to stop these wars. As little power as I have, as little say as I have, little reach I have, I do what I can to make it known that I want peace. I tell my elected officials in Congress to vote against war when they can, and I do my part. And April's part as an elected official is to protect the Constitution, and she didn't do that. I want to be clear what I'm apologizing for. I apologize that I said what I did in the context of her being a gold star mom. I should have said it in general terms like I normally do. In my 4th of July post, I said, this milestone did not come without immense sacrifice. Many of our rights that were fought for have been violated in recent time. It's up to us to protect these rights. I express that idea all the time. You can find it numerous times on my pages. I'm not going to address all of April's posts, but I do want to mention that she says that being a gold star mom is part of her personal life and she doesn't want anyone talking about it. I am not the one that made her gold star status public. On her flyers, she said that she's part of a military family, and this is what she said at the Meet the Candidates event while she was campaigning. In fact, her therapy practice is called Gold Star Counseling. I did not make this fact public, she did. And again, I made the mistake of using it in the context that I did. And then I made a mistake by removing the clip so people didn't actually have a reference point to understand what was going on. In the episode, I actually detail about how April and her friends do this to many people. When you disagree with them, they say that you've harassed them, and they even go as far as filing police reports against people just that they disagree with. I knew in exposing all of this corruption that I was going to be their target, and that should have been my sign to make sure I went through the show numerous times and triple checked everything I said to not give them any fuel. Because now they're telling people to not go watch the show, and that's because they don't want their corruption exposed. We need to speak to a larger problem here, because not only did April post that, her friend Kristen Watt, who I also talked about in the show, who illegally paid herself campaign funds, posted this. I have not read their comment sections, but people have called me and told me that they are actually encouraging people to find out where I work and call my employer about this behavior. And to even find out where my husband works, call his work, and to even tell him to rein me in. Let me make this clear for everyone. When you play on people's emotions, you get emotional responses. This is how you incite political violence. I am not angry about anyone who is being misled, because at one point in time, I was that person. I believed the lies that April told, because who wants to believe that someone would lie about something like this? And yet, here we are. Many people, not just in Holly, but all across this nation, well-intended people who want to go into government to make change and to actually work for the people, but then they see what happens when you challenge the system and they walk away. We as citizens need to do better to not just listen to the first thing we see. We need to do our own research, get all the facts, and then make an informed opinion. Never make progress in government if we're constantly being bullied into compliance and listening to the propaganda. There are real problems that we need to fix. Like, everyone just saw like a 40% increase in their taxes this week because of the leadership in this town. And like I said, we have officials in office who have embezzled money and are censoring speech. They have not taken accountability, but yet they are putting the attention on me. And like I said at the beginning, this is exactly the playbook. Ignore the facts, censor opposing views, and go after the person's credibility. That's what happened. That's what I've taken accountability for. And none of it negates the almost 3 hours I posted outlining all of this town's corruption. Even in the episodes, I tell you not to just believe me, to do your own research and make your own opinion. I welcome disagreements, and I would never suggest to my following to go after people's employment and to start threatening them. That is absolutely unacceptable behavior. As always, let me know your thoughts about this whole situation, and make sure you're following me for more.